Let me think. I, well, without trying to get too complicated, um, one of the things that music is really good at is bringing people together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to be hippie-ish about
I
it,
understand.
but if a lot of people know the words to a song, like when I'm at a party and I play something from Lil Wayne, all these kids are like now singing along to all the words. That's really cool. And I know that if it wasn't for this music and what we do, there's a lot of people that I would have never met.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of lifestyles and certain segments of society that I would never have had access to, either very rich people or the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to have that firsthand experience and seeing how other people live has really opened my mind to how much I didn't know as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And how much people that I went to high school with, they're sort of still stuck in the lane that maybe like we grew up in because of the demographic we're from, either the neighborhood or the color of our skin or whatever, or how much money our parents made, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So either they took their privilege for granted, or in a lot of cases they didn't reach for a certain standard that they could have accomplished just because they were never taught
Mm-hmm.
that they were good enough to do that. So for me, music has given me all of those gifts and has opened my mind a lot. And so if music continues to do that for me, that would be great. And I would love to be a part of something that helps have music play that role for other people. And if that makes any sense, then it's a good answer
No,
to
it
your
makes
question.
great sense.
I'll leave it with that.
Gio, Ryan, you guys want to add anything to that?
Yeah, music is what made me. It's probably the biggest factor in my education, more so than sitting in a classroom or any books that I've read. A lot of things that I know and know about myself and know about other people, like Sapa said, came more so from a song than anything else. In addition to things, you know, my parents and my peers taught me, but as far as in the realm of culture, more than television, more than anything else, it was music. And so, in a way, when I create the music that I make, it's with that acknowledgement that, yes, there is an educational component. But beyond that, you know, you don't want to get preached to all the time. So there's something beyond just that. There's also this very, you know, there's an emotional aspect to it. It has to move you. It has to be dope. It has to stimulate you too. So I try to do both. And I've been blessed to work with a producer who understands that balance, that, you know, wants to have it mean something, but not just get caught up in the meaning at the expense of making it move, making it be able to touch people beyond just what's being said. And yeah, that's two things. I believe music is a mirror and a hammer. It's a mirror that reflects what's going on in the times. That you don't have to be like intently political when you're writing the music like this. I'm going to talk about this. If you just express yourself, it is somehow, some way a reflection of the times and the era and the conditions that you live in. And people in the future are going to look back and hear the music that was created at that time, era, and it's basically going to be a documentary. And so I approach it that way too, that it has to reflect what's going on. And then when the timing is right, understand that it's also a hammer that could like shape the way people think and see things.
Some last words, man. Right?
Yeah, it's no. Come on. No offense to Domino's. I love your pizza. I'm just not hungry. Music is a third thing, I guess. It's a mirror, it's a hammer, and it's also a ladder. And a lot of that metaphor comes from the Baha'i faith. There's a quote that says, "Music is like a ladder for man's soul to ascend into heavens," and I'm paraphrasing because I don't memorize quotes. But so that means that music has that potential, but I don't think that it's fair to say what is the responsibility or the role of music, because music doesn't exist as an entity. You know, it's not a being. It's something that we create, we contribute to, whether we're listeners or whether we're consumers, or whether we're artists, creators. You You choose what you want to do with the music. And like Sabs was saying, some of it has applications that you might not even be familiar with. So before you judge some genre of music or even one particular song, consider the application that it might have that you might not be aware of, right? There's value to music when people create it, not because music exists. I mean, maybe it is divine in origin. And that's why it's really impossible to answer this question, because so much of it is subjective. It has to do with the quality of music and even the origins of music. Yeah, it has potential, to be a mirror. It has potential to be a hammer. It has potential to connect what's worldly or earthly with what's divine, right? But if you don't, if you don't have an interest in pursuing those things, then that's fine. I mean, there are people who don't listen to music. So I don't criticize them any more than I criticize people who make shitty music.
Yeah.
And some people do make shitty music.
Yeah.
So it's all in how you view it. It is very subjective.